Hello, everyone. Welcome to Solar, where we are on PTB, watching as two teams go against each other in the new environment after carriers have been modular carriers update, I think is what people were calling it. We will see here as standard ANS versus OSP stuff goes. We've got Team 1 ANS, we've got Brightball, Tuesdack, Tasty Cookie, Engineering, and Dragon Bender.
Squaring off against them in the orange trunks for OSP, we've got Vren, Hallow, Lemon, Semi-Classic, Star Fox, and Star. Immediately noticing some interesting deployments from ANS side here. Also, hello everyone, NekoboyBlue tuning in here as well, accompanying me as Escape Chance.
That was my line.
I can say it as well. So, you know what? I'm just going to do this because I can. Where's Discord? Hang on. Discord, change user nickname.
Engineering, one last thing. Yeah, please mute stream and don't look, just for fairness sake.
Yeah, we do ask people who are in the game to please keep the stream muted and such. That way we don't get any like backseat info or stuff like that. Just keep it fair and sporting for everyone involved.
Right.
All right, so immediately that like death ball going down.
Yeah, there's a
the
death ball A. That has me... I'm seeing names. I'm seeing Galactica. I'm seeing Glass Canyon. I think this is the Battleship Swarm just gonna rush A based on the names.
Yeah.
Static Noise is a jammer.
I think that this is just
These
a
look like
rush
battleships.
A build with two cappers to go for the naturals.
I know that Galactica is a pretty common BB name. Just
very,
you know.
Right. OSP in the meantime deploying even across the board, kind of what you expect for Sailor. Try to occupy a bit of different spaces, leave their options open. On deploy here, I'm seeing that's a size 2 SLO.
I'm seeing a trio of gun shuttles from Sammy here.
All right. Want to do OSP fleet first, then we kind of work down the list.
Okay, that works.
All right. So immediately, Lemon coming in with a 3,000 point BLS2 SLO.
This is the Black Freighter. Yeah,
yep.
I've seen this one in game before.
That's gonna
very
hurt.
Deadly.
Okay. Hallow comes in with T81 backpack on 450 liners here.
Oh shit! These were the plasma backpack liners that fucking made me do a double take on that match on Nyx on Wednesday.
Yep, that sounds about right.
These things started firing fucking plasma. Yeah, it was Nitro Fire was the one that was firing because it's 3 plasma turrets.
Early warning CAA monitor deployed near A side. Semi-classic coming in 250 broadside bulker backpack containers and craft. They've got a collection of shuttles in wings here of 3. Looks like rocket shuttle, Omni soft kill, and then T20, and then I think I got another
jammer lock gun, or sorry, jammer gun rocket.
Yeah,
for these swarms.
All.
That's fucking tech.
Okay,
we have one swarm, and then the rest are dispersed by the looks of it.
2 of them naked cappers, 2 of them T20s, and then last one is a rocket goalie. Very nice stuff there from Sammy. Star coming in with a 3K more line using some of those new advanced fighter build-up techs. You can now invest into your fighters more with new modules. Very interesting stuff there. Loving with the stuff we've seen. Currently have some haliberts getting off the deck. Fred coming in with, to the surprise of no one, Kyanite Squadron here, 450 broadsiders, and they've got themselves a tug to go with it to provide spotting.
I always forget that Vren's the curator for Kyanite.
All right. Anyways, you want to tell me about what the ANS has brought? Because,
let's see.
Oh, God.
I was right! I called it! Battleship Rush on A! Let's fucking go! Alright, Brightball has a gun battleship, beam backpack, pretty standard build. This is Strap 6. I've seen this in combat before. Pretty standard, Parallax, Raider, Dragonfly, Whiplash, standard drive setup. Yeah, this is pretty common for a gun beam backpack battleship.
Yeah.
We also have some cap assets. Look at this. We've got a gun sprinter heading B and a gun sprinter heading E. Yeah, I always like when battleships are able to incorporate some cap assets too. It's very nice. Dragon Bender. Oh, it's the double pit boss. It's Pit King and Pit King.
Yep.
Holy fuck.
Oh god, it looks wrong to look at the DC board on these.
Oh my god, look at the... Oh, that's awful to look at, but you know, whatever. Tasty coming in with a bit more... I say reasonable, but these also are fucking point defenseless broadside 450 battleships.
Straight 450, and that's...
Do these even have radar in them? No, they do not.
Nope.
Neither of them have radar.
2 bulk mags, basic CIC. I think, yeah, 4 rapids and a dream. That's a
Engineering,
battleship.
To compensate for those fucking creatures, Engineering is bringing the hero battleship. We have 53 SDMs in that launcher in the back. And I thought I had 30 SDMs. I have 30 SDMs in my S2 backpack battleship, and I thought that was a lot. What the fuck?
I think that
14.
ship's eating for like what 4 formations here of like ship defense.
14 fucking restores and 24 teams. Yep, that's a hero battleship. And then two stacks running TF Ash. Let's fucking go! Let's fucking go!
All right, so for anyone not familiar, TF Ash, air quotes, is a beam battleship that happens to have a little masquerade module on it. And it happens to share the names of the starter fleet Task Force Ash, which is a little jammer corvette, and then 3 beam destroyers. This is a build of all time, and honestly, I can't wait to see how this ends up going.
This is peak. All of the battleships immediately rushing A. This is so peak. This is...
Just turn off your HUD for a second and just take a look from like the A point perspective at the number of battleships on this map.
Oh. The meat.
Yep. Huge craft testing. Yes, indeed. What if we didn't, they say. Speaking of craft, let's take a look.
All right, B is being engaged by Vren. Vren is pushing Kyanite onto the B point here. And Sammy is sending a gun shuttle 2 to take it here.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff. Frontline fleet provides an opening, and then the cap fleet player is able to take advantage of that. We see that Vren has a collection of fighter craft here. They got some scouting, they got some spotting with EO pikes, and then they got their own...
Wait.
Ooh, that's a lot of...
How did Vren...
A lot of missiles on these.
Is there... How the fuck did they cycle bombers that quickly? There's fucking 8 bombers up already from Star. Can you do that? Can you cycle bombers that fast? I guess they're only spearfish, aren't they? They're only spearfish.
Star.
I was looking in the carrier for like the module that gives you an extra...
the strike down center. Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, it's not in there. Yeah.
Just spearfish,
no, they just got those out.
Quick. Let's take a look at modules.
Yeah, they got those out quick.
2 deck gear
Speaking
lockers,
of,
2 flight deck with normal.
We have an S1 offensive strike from Wasp Squadron from Star on this capper here. Some of those getting through.
8-ball gonna eat it. That is a dead ship there. I just work here, man. It's first to bite the dust on the ANS side.
Wasp Squadron takes a bunch of SDMs from the hero battleship.
That is going to be decent effect.
They lose 2 of their number. Decent effect. They lose 2 of their number. However, that was like 5 SDMs for 2 kills, which is not the most economical trade, but still.
It is
effective.
worth noting now, as people are typically going to be spending more on each individual craft. Each kill here is going to matter a lot more. Is this PTB? Yes, PTB stands for Public Test Branch. This is the latest patch hot off the presses. Going to be seeing just what happens.
Check out the PTB channel for what's happened. Look at the E-flank here. Sammy has sent their cluster of ships over to the E-flank here.
Immediately going to walk into 8-ball here. The here for the snacks going to realize it is in trouble, trying to pull back.
There is
out on the
nothing
8 point as just ANS is set to advance, and they have a strategy that they are kind of executing. Is AN trying to boom the shuttle?
The shuttle on
Probably
A?
just a misallocation of fire orders, I would assume.
I'm assuming. Its drive is gone. There's no reactor in this thing. This thing cannot bloom anymore, so the ANS is fine just to push onto the point.
I'm going to assume just they left the fire order.
Black Freighter, the S2 solo by Lemon, is waiting in position by A. I'm assuming that OSP understands that there's at least a battleship or an Axford here. They know that these are capitals.
You don't say. Now, I gotta wonder, when they did the deployment and they saw this many drive flares on A point, what do you think was their, just initial reaction?
Halo, I don't know. I don't know if they had ships to do that, but... Oh, yeah, Halo trying to take the engagement here with the 450 liners. I'm so sorry, Halo. You are not going to be enough to
Halo is not fooled by anyone, is immediately putting 450 downrange.
That being said, apply damage. They're firing at apply damage, and it is broadside. Loses one of those reactors immediately. That is a rough loss for a beam battleship. But
Retaliation coming out now as the 450 unloads. Power 2 has been locked on. Immediately gets its reactor dropped down.
Oh, that's a boosted reactor moment.
Yep. This is why it's sometimes worth bringing a backup reactor in your ship, because this boosted reactor is very large and can get moved.
That drive is also taking a lot of fire as well. Geez.
This thing can fix itself up, but it's going to be combat ineffective for the moment as it gets back into cover.
Yep, that's the reactor. K killed. One of the guns is down. One of the Pavises is down. There goes the C-25.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just a lot of fire going into this poor liner here. You do not want to be in that situation at all.
It is luckily able to retreat. As we said, that drive
Yep.
did take a good pounding, down to 50%, but is able to slide into cover now.
The A-cap fucking battleship, I guess. Why are they sending the 3K battleship to cap the A point? Send one of the cringed ones. What are you doing?
Good question here as the Galactica decides to volunteer for point duty. Then again, Scrap 6 also moving on to the point here as they advance.
Sammy is just going for the E point with this fucking swarm here. They have... Yeah,
Sammy has the opportunity here. Honestly,
I
really like this. The Omni soft kill is quite strong. The T-20 shuttle able to pick away at the equivalent capper on the ANS side. Jamming does a lot there.
And
Rocket shuttle, and you need it, is really useful.
And you have rockets as your torpedo equivalent in case you need to do an alpha strike and kill something immediately. Yeah, that's a very good combo. Grizzly Squadron being escorted by beams out on Grizzly Squadron. Apply damage, firing the beams at the fucking bombers.
Bombers immediately breaking formation, running all over the place. We see multiple of them have taken some damage here as they're realizing just how much danger they're in. SDM-2's chain firing into this, trying to get kills. Talon Squadron eating the worst of it.
Despite the buffs to craft, ability to withstand Wake, those Act Wake SDMs are still proving very effective, taking out one bomber and reducing Talon from 6 to 2.
Yeah. No guarantee that there is any of those buff modules brought along in this build. We don't know what
that is
Star
true.
paid
We can't actually see that, can we?
Grizzly is down a bomber already. More SDM-2s in
Their
flight
bombers
there.
are taking lots of hits. Yeah, this is why I like S2 or SDM2 span over like other anti-craft tactics, because you can just volume fire them and just completely stun lock them by keeping them in
to be deployed. Star just loitering Grizzly here, asking for trouble. More and more of these picking them off down. Now. Star, I think, how many bombers they have? They got 8 bombers currently in the carrier proper. They've got 3 in Grizzly flight, and then 6 of them in Gunslinger is going to get found out here as the ANS formation presses over the rock, and then looks like the Tasty is firing 450 at the bombers, and somehow there's some hits, apparently. What?
What the fuck? Holy shit! What the hell is happening?
How did you even
by the way,
that?
PSA, use 450 AP against bombers, because that actually does more damage, and it's actually noticeable. But also, what the fuck is going on? Gunslinger Squadrons return. Gunslinger Squadrons on RTB. They're heading back. They're
deciding,
fucking leaving.
Nope, absolutely not. I have realized what is on the cards here. I need to refit my loadouts, go with some bombs or something to take out these incredibly cringe battleships.
What the fuck is this tech? This is insane. This is. Oh my fucking god.
Okay, Star's Crimson Flight. These are size 1 SAW HE frags.
Do they have? Oh, they have.
They've got illuminators.
Yeah.
E point is capped as OSB secures both teams' naturals.
ANS still doesn't have. How does ANS not have A? What the fuck? There's 5 battleships here. Sorry.
Wolf pointed out earlier. It's like you're telling me you've got 6 battleships here and nobody capped the point.
It's 7. It's 7 battleships. It's 7 of them. Get on the. What the fuck? What is going on?
Galactica starts taking fire from below. Vren not quite getting the lock that they want at this distance, but working on it with the tug, getting Bloodhound.
Black Freighter.
Go past it, can't make it up. Yeah, I think that they know. They've decided points are icky. We don't want any of that just gunfight. If you hover over the craft type from the ship flightman, you have a carrier. You can see what buff modules they have. Interesting. Let's take a look at Star's carrier then.
All right.
As countermeasures, braced frame, and that's it for the Barracudas. Yeah, no improved engines.
Standard countermeasures. Yeah, so the Barracudas have some more health, but yeah, nothing else. Okay, that's cool. You can see them. Yep. So yeah, that makes sense that the standard SDMs that are pretty standard were working still. There's nothing to reduce their effectiveness. ANS is pushing over the A point without even fucking capping it. What the hell is going on? I don't understand. I'm so confused.
The Galactica is considering capping it, perhaps, maybe. The push continues here as a massive battleship advances.
Is the Galactica even firing? The Galactica has jamming?
Double interrupt jammer, and a illuminator.
There's a counter jam. Oh yeah, that's what the counter jam is. That's the illuminator.
Yep, that'll do it. Backpack
Holy shit,
missile
they're
launcher
taking
does
A.
get taken out with 32 SDM2s and 10 active decoys
This
left
thing
inside
has
that.
14 fucking resources. They can just bring that back online. It's fine.
True enough, but
Final
still,
orders
that's a
has been
vulnerable
locked and
target.
is under return fire from Galactica now.
Tuesday finally considers the A point and parks a Corvette on it to secure that. Is going to be shot at soon. Vren is positioning their pikes down below to illuminate targets with those EO balls. Galactica, I think, is getting designated. Hard to say here,
Scrap
actually.
6 making incredible use of the beam backpack, able to kill off this shuttle really quickly from Sammy. Starts putting 450 fire into nitro
Missiles
fire,
from below going towards A point from the Black Freighter of Lemon.
There's so much command jamming in this bubble. Is this going to be enough? Oh, yeah, no, because it has supplementary radio amplifiers.
Yep.
Wait, no, they lost target.
Punches right through either way, though. Gets the kill. That's a CIC snipe with no damage control teams in that thing. Holy cringe.
Galactica is on the A point, so it will still get the point here, but...
A cap happens at the what minute mark in the game as OSP approaches 400 points now than the next tick?
This is... ANS should have been insanely more aggressive with this comp on the points. They...
Hallowed wisely decides to maneuver away now. Barks a couple plasma shots out where they could, trying to scratch a little bit of the armor.
They do. Most of the armor on the left side of, Scrap 6 is pretty messed up now, but... This is
Firebird asking 2-stack what? A little bit of questionable stuff there going on.
Yeah.
Vren
anyway,
getting a pounding down below as 450 starts flying into the final orders.
Radarless battleships soared up with the Scrap 6. That's, even though they don't have radar, that is a lot of fire going into this poor liner that's caught out in the open here.
Having been on the receiving end of this in a previous game, I gotta say, it's very scary just seeing how much fire you can get towards you. Vren is able to maneuver still somewhat here, has not lost their drive, but better part of the modules here getting taken out.
If this liner doesn't get to cover, it's going to go down here pretty quickly.
At the same time, where does it get to cover with that arc that it has over
yeah,
top
I
of
think
it?
there's too many. I think there's too many battleships looking at this thing. I don't think that thing's going to be able to get to cover in time.
Final orders might be giving its final command.
More missiles out from Black Freighter. They are heading towards Galactica.
Maybe a bit optimistic. VLS-2 has been knocked out yet again. Active decoys not active on this thing. CMD with the radio amps, I think, punches right through this.
No, I don't think one... Wait.
It has double interrupt, but...
It has double interrupt!
Sidewinder missiles deployed.
AMMs! Holy shit.
Bunch of those going to seduce onto decoys. Other one's going to trim the salvo out enough.
It worked.
Secondary AMMs, the nut-uns from 2-stack is going to clean up the last of that.
Final orders is drives down in the open here. Yep. Fire still going into... Yeah, fire still going into it.
More size 2s attempted, but they have more AMMs. How many AMMs does this thing have?
It's a 3K battleship. I'm assuming there's quite a lot
36 more AMMs left in that thing.
Oh, fucking
Couple
Christ.
command missiles maybe getting through, but defenders are in arc and there's allies nearby.
AN is almost out of cappers. AN didn't have cappers to begin with. What are you talking about?
OSP comfortably is secure in the map. They've taken all the natural points. They know where the enemy assets are. Honestly, all they have to do at this point is just rotate away, force the enemy to be strung up from the A point and C point they're driving towards.
ANS needs to start moving for caps if they want to have any chance of winning this. Energy transfer moving for the C cap. However, the rocket tugboat on the point is going to deny that really easily.
Tug has fire orders issued. Not sure which track it is. Might be pivoting here. We'll find out in a second.
That sprinter is not detected, so it shouldn't be that sprinter. It has fire orders on it. It should also be noted that this sprinter exists purely to make the enemy think that it's a keystone. It does not have any combat effectiveness.
Nope. Is going to fly around the corner and detect that this trap is laid there. Rockets now rotating on it. They realize the trouble. Immediately going to start popping shots in 2-3 hits. That's it. C-cap is denied. Singular asset pays its value back tenfold there.
Yep.
Because that's singular Corvette left for 2-stack. The electronic warfare device, the static noise, is doing its job down here, jamming out quite a few of the OSP's frontline assets. Final orders from Vren still hasn't bit the bullet yet. Skeletized thoroughly, but it's not structure broken, which is amazing to me.
I don't know if ANS can split enough to go get caps at this point. There's the beams, yeah.
Worth noting on PTB, beams have gotten an update. We saw it there within 5 seconds. The aim point does change rather than the 10 seconds on live. So beams won't
And
just beam
also,
dead module.
B short damage across the board for all beams has been reduced. Both the spinal and the turrets. It went from 80% to 60.
Dragon Meter disconnect. Oh
Chance-wise.
no, Dragon Meter with the poor
Uh-oh.
connection there. Unfortunately, DCs. Their ships will instead go to. Who is that to? I can't actually.
Engineering now has 3 battleships under their control, I'm assuming. Yep.
This is fun. Yeah, peak ANS
What?
moment right now. The applied damage caught out a little bit from its allies. Going to be suffering heavy missiles to the reactors.
Those reactors! Oh no!
Why does it have a small drive?
It's
No.
actually good fucking question. Why does
I think that this is just so points cringe that they couldn't afford it. Like, they had to go with the cheapest everything.
That's so sad. Apply damage, yeah, a beam battleship immediately. Those are like the only things that initial salvo hit were the reactors. That's fucking rough.
So, immediately loses
Yep,
power. Had the
Goodbye,
ability to do
apply
damage,
These
but
are
not
gonna
anymore.
cause. I'm assuming these missiles are gonna cause some crits.
Most
there's
likely,
one.
yeah. We'll see a fuel line fire coming
That
up
is a
shortly, right? Yeah,
reactor
they're not fixing that
overload
reactor
at a
overload.
68%, yeah. And also it's getting crossfired. Hallow in the perfect position to crossfire this battleship and just finish it off. Goodbye, apply damage.
Apply damage, still not structure broken, but yeah, that crit. Reactor overload has to be scrammed, but that leaves you without any... Or has some restorers, technically, but...
Despite being a battleship, it died as fast as a Keystone.
Yeah, well, I suppose that Task Force Ash does live on in truth to its nature. Let's take a look around the board. Star hasn't done anything for a hot moment. Star just kind of loitering in the backfield here, has their fighters and stuff. Has torpedoes and bombs loaded up on their Sturgeons
I don't think Star needs to do anything right now. I think that the rest of the OSB has this handled.
Okay, the static noise evades some fire from the black freighter there, luckily diving behind a rock, proving once again rock is best PD. It is getting plinked away at by Bren from below.
Yeah, no other way has 100 mil and 450 already on this thing, and this thing is super cheap. Yeah, CIC basic, small DC, this thing is dead.
Ain't no way this thing's living. Just 450 hilariously overpens there as is expected. Plasma out in the applied damage, adding insult to injury.
Yeah, the battleships are just chilling on A. They're not pushing out or anything. Yeah. They needed to be much more aggressive in order to make the battleship strat work.
Actually, looking at this, 30 seconds to go in the bloom, 71%. Can they actually fix this in time?
Is that a rapid team in there?
That is a repair
no,
team.
it's just a regular repair team. That's impressive. Actually, are they gonna get that? That was a minus 68% work speed. They're gonna
normally
they're gonna
4
get
crits.
That.
Yeah, as a bloom, huh?
That fucking impressive. Holy shit.
10 seconds left on the clock. 87%. Possibly with a small workshop alive, they would get this. I think that buffs the repair speed.
Yeah, no, the ship is dead. By the way, it's not repairing anymore.
And bloom. There you go. Still damn close.
Ship was. I think if the ship wasn't K killed there, they would have gotten that repair. Like, that was actually impressive. I've never seen that happen with that much of a work speed debuff.
Honestly, just...
SDM's out on these craft here. Some hit, some going for the bombers
Flight
in the back.
does get one splash by the looks of it.
They got one, yeah.
2 stack lightning throw in the towel. I believe they've been completely knocked out of the game.
Yep, they have no ships. You get what you fucking deserve. No. More SDM's out on
Attempted to heartbreak
like.
it. Let's see. No engagement in turn. Just going to see 2 hits on one of them. There you go. So failed roll on the first one, I believe it was, but the second follow-up does hit. Heartbreak Barracuda loaded up with nothing to actually hurt these battleships, just kind of advancing over here, seeing if they are out of SDMs or not. Tactician is down to a measly 9 ACMs, rather, whatever you call them.
SDMs, wow.
Yeah.
They burnt through fucking 40 of those. Holy shit.
Checkmate Flight potentially getting one splashed here. We'll see if it's the unlucky one. Nope. Manages to heal back up. There you go.
They are fine.
Tasty going to open up with a 450 as... I think they're just shooting at a Corvette. Or no, a shuttle right now. Yeah, dead shuttle here from Sammy the
Scrap
Plaza.
6 does take the D point.
That's true.
Manages to beam this liner. Got its drives down. Scrap 6 is going to win this fight against this 250 liner, but I think it's too little too... How is ANS losing the A point?
Sammy with the opportunity. A single T-20 shuttle moves onto the point. Engineering, unfortunately, distracted, microing 2 different fleets there. Doesn't realize they drifted off here.
Sammy gets a gun shuttle past 2 fucking
The
pit boss
double
battleships.
pit, like, regent lords, whatever you want to call them.
And now the pit
Pit
bosses
king
are being
is
punished.
magazine is out on it, unfortunately, as it's 0%ed, and gotta be some more missiles hitting here. That's a lot of missiles coming into a build that has no point defense. The battleship has been hit so hard it's twisting.
Holy shit.
Fire Z missiles, says Lemon, as they just hold down the trigger, programming everything they can.
No crits. I was gonna say no crits on Pit Queen, but that's kind of fair considering that this thing has one fucking reactor anyway. So through sheer probability.
BB went from 95% to nothing instantly. Yep, that's what missiles will do. Yeah, I've learned that.
Oh my god, this is
all
so
repair
off.
teams are. Wait, hang on. No, Pit King still has stuff. Loses the reactor. There's going to be a reactor overload. Main
Oh, there's a
fire.
crit.
Finally.
No missiles being fired at Pit Queen.
Fires the missiles, they say. I cannot believe a single T-20 shuttle managed to get past a double pit.
That's
like,
fucking hilarious. That is absurdly funny. How is the fucking C point going? The C point's going at least okay for ANS here.
Glad
I
to
mean,
get
okay
steps
for
on
ANS.
it.
They've got 2 goddamn battleships on the A point here.
More size. Oh no, hang on. Some of the AMMs are being seduced here. I think that Star is just trying to see if they can run this battleship out of ammo.
Out of
SDMs
and then just hit them with the bombers. Yeah.
Plus stuff like
This
airborne
is-
spearfish, maybe to build up and do stuff. See?
Pit Queen has realized what was happening on A, kills the thing, and is starting to reverse course back to the A point.
That said, though, Pit King is slated to bloom here, has a fuel line fire as well.
That is true.
And that's got to be a reactor bloom right into Pit Queen. And I hate to say it, but there's like a T-20 shuttle wing nearby with rockets that might potentially kill it.
This is so... What the fuck is happening?
Ren
This is-
engaging 450 and 100 mil against the Pit
You know,
Queen here.
The caps, if ANS had kept to the A point here,
Big
Scrap
strike
6
going
is
out on
heading
Seaside.
E.
Hang on a second.
Oh, shit.
Torpedoes going
Uh-oh.
against Tasty's glass cannon. Gonna be finding their way home as Ace. It's dead. It's just dead. It's gone. Reduced to atoms.
The torpedoes killed it! It has
Two
a basic CIC at the
basics.
top! There's no fucking DT! The torpedoes just killed a battleship!
Here comes the
Oh,
bombs, but it
no.
doesn't matter.
Star, you didn't even have to worry about the bombs! This battleship was so... Oh my god.
Bomb's gonna do the rest of it, immediately just skeletizing an already dead ship there.
Oh my god.
Grizzly Flight got their
ANS.
money's worth.
Oh, Reactor Bloom on the Pit Queen.
Yep.
It was just out of range. Its armor is slightly damaged, but still fine.
A little bit scorched there, but yeah, honestly, not bad, all things considered. The Black Freighter is taking absolutely nothing from the pounding of RPF it's currently suffering.
Yeah, it's 250. And Ren is also saying something about the Pit Queen still existing. That is 450 into the broadside of this battleship.
Yeah, only have RPF. Why did you get engineering tactician realizing the fleet they inherited from Dragonbender is built the way it is?
Wait, what? It only has RPF for
Only
the
RPF for the
sidearms?
120s.
What the fuck? Why?
Go on from like 500 more
Was that-
points. Want to see more like this?
Is that a point? Is that a point thing? Does this thing not have enough points to run other ammo types? That's so fucking funny.
Probably doesn't. There's another bloom on the 8 point there. This is certainly a game of all time.
Galactica still holding strong against
Quote there, hang on, in the
Hello
Twitch
has.
chat, Martyr of Carrick, aka List there, a dev mam of the game, saying that if 7 BBs won this game, would have just deleted the game.
You know, it's funny you say that. ANS did actually have a chance here. They were way too passive on the A thing. They didn't get it for like... They were sitting on A for like 5 minutes and didn't have it capped. If they would have
Yep.
pushed out and split earlier, I think they might have had a chance through caps, but... But that being said, when they split, they just got defeated in detail too. So yeah,
The
No, I
possibility
think
of just like split battleship push like that could have done a lot.
I think if either Dragonbender or Tasty had instead brought a single battleship that was more built up and actually able to survive like craft strike, I think that ANS would have had a lot better chance here.
Yeah.
I think.
I think that the
Sorry,
all battleship
I'm so
gambit can
sorry.
definitely work for like a committed
Yeah.
push on that, but
It can. All battleship I have made work before with a team in voice call. You need coordination to do it properly. That was an R3 strike into Galactica. Galactica is gone.
I look away
Those
for
busts
1
all have
minute at the
bombs
8
to
point,
finish
and
it up.
yep, Plasma
Yep.
R3 completely redding the midsection of this thing. All the damage control teams scrambling.
Buzzsaw,
That's going to
yeah.
be points out here. A game of all
Oh my
time.
god. This one, I'm glad we fucking casted this one.
Yeah, I don't think any of these players will be allowed the fleet editor in, like, ever.
Yeah, lists the people playing on ANS were Brightball, Dragonbender, Tasty, Engineering, Tuzdak. Kindly remove fleet editor privileges for these
Yep.
players, please.
Tusak was playing a starter fleet, but even then they don't get to play it. OSP manages to do 30k on the Black Freighter. Hallow wisely avoided incoming fire and ran like hell. Sammy with the shuttles able to
Actually,
do
no.
good work.
I shouldn't say that because like Brightball's battleship fleet was like it's a really good battleship fleet. This one is really
Okay,
well built with
I
the
gotta
cappers
ask,
and the ship being really well done.
is it Bright Ball or is it 8 Ball?
Oh shit! Fuck. You're right.
Oh no,
It's
have
8
we
Ball?
been caster cursed this whole time? It is 8 Ball. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
8 Ball
man.
makes much more sense. 8 Ball makes much more sense with the color scheme they always run too. Fuck.
Star manages to do 26k with a Sturgeon striking at the last bit there, just annihilating a battleship with torpedo strike. Vren unfortunately
Holy
loses
fuck.
the final order. He's suffering under. Like, we saw what happens when all the
That
battleships
was
can get on target, but
that was 4 battleships. That was Galactica, 8 Ball's ship, and then the 2 radarless ones from Tasty all firing at that ship simultaneously. That thing's not going to survive.
yeah. The No Other Way does its job though, survives until the end. It does its job as well. Let's ready up and do another match, I guess.
Yeah.
I love BTB.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah. List addendum. Scrap 6. 8 Ball's fleet is fine. Don't remove fleet editor privileges from theirs.